So you were getting into acting first, or your brother?
My brother was in it first. He definitely knew that's what he wanted to do. I had no conception, or what did I want to do? I don't know. I was 9.
Yeah.
And I went in. I went in to pick up a script from his agent, Coralie Jr., R.I.P. And she saw me. She's like, "Look at this little happy little kid." She's like, "Have you ever went on an audition before?" I was like, "No." She said, "Would you like to try it?" I'm like, "Sure." So she sent me out on 2 auditions, and I booked one. And it was for McGruff the Crime Dog, little educational film.
Fucking love, dude. I love McGruff the Crime Dog. They played that shit in school all the time in Nebraska.
That's right.
McGruff the Crime. I literally just asked the other day. I was like, they need to bring McGruff back. What happened to McGruff, bro?
You niggas not saying no to nothing.
For real.
But that was my first gig, man. And then I
taking a bite out of crime.
Take a bite out of crime.
Crazy.
Yeah. Then I booked
Ghost Dad. What's up with Ghost Dad?
Ghost Dad was my first feature. So I had a movie before my brother. I did Ghost Dad, and my brother actually came on the set of Ghost Dad. Now the crazy thing about Ghost Dad, Bill Cosby was the star, and Sidney Poitier was the director.
Damn.
Like that.
Damn.
And I have so many stories about that.
Legend.
What?
I need to hear the stories.
What were the drinks like?
No, Cosby was so. But see, this is the thing. Like, what I'll never debate is that he loved kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was always with the pudding pop and all that type of shit. So he was real cool. Like, you know what I mean? So all the shit he did as an adult, they ain't none of my business, man. But like the audition was interesting. So I remember I was auditioning for Sidney Poitier, and I didn't really know the gravity of what that meant. And everyone was like, "The Sidney Poitier was in there," and he was like, "Yes, crawl on the ground. Now come this way. Now the camera's here. Now climb on the table. Now you're a small fly. You're a flea. Be smaller. Be small." Like, God damn, okay, I'm a small. And I was in there for so long. I remember I left and I was like, "Man, I hope I get this part." And they said I didn't. And I remember this should never happen after or before, I think, man. My mom actually called the casting directors and was like, "Why you guys have my son in there so long and say he didn't get the part?" And they were like, "We'll talk to the director and get back to you," which never fucking happens. And sure enough, they said, "You know what? We're going to bring him in for a camera test. Thanks for calling." Like, oh, shit. And they brought me in for a camera test, and I wound up booking the thing. It was
There's
crazy.
just so many kids, they forgot how good you were, or
So,
what?
I don't know. I still don't know.
That's dope.
Because I'm sure agents were like this. "Don't you be calling behind my back," and whatever name,
And then
we did
good
wind
for
up
your
finding
mom.
Good for
did.
moms, right?
Hell
She's like, "I gotta
yeah.
find out why you didn't hire my son." And they're like, I don't know, but let's bring him back in again. And
My brother she earned that 15%.
she showed it up there. 85%. No.
So you did know who Cosby was, though, when you booked
Absolutely.
it, right?
Oh,
So
man. I was
when you were in front of him or for the first time, how'd that go?
Fucking nervous as shit. First scene, I know I had the little bike, and I was out there, I don't know my lines. Stuart, da-da-da-da. And they're like, "Oh, there goes Cosby." And I was like, "Oh, shit." And he just like cracked a joke. I can't even remember what the joke was, but he said something funny about my glasses or just made me feel real cool and calm. He was like, "Knock it out, kid. You're going to do great." And I was just like, "Oh, wow." And that was, being comfortable. That's kind of what I took throughout my career. You gotta, the people that you work with on set, you want them to be great. You want the project to be great. So make them feel comfortable. If you see somebody nervous, pull them to the side, give them, "Relax, man, you'll be good." Just, and they'll feed off of energy.
What's your best Cosby story?
What?
That was really it. I mean, I was always really concerned about my body of work. Like, worry about you. Don't be like, "Oh, there's Cosby. Let me go talk to him." Or this and that.
Right.
Here's another thing. I've just had so many things in this brain of mine. Like, I can memorize the phone book if you pay me, right? But I'll forget everybody's name. Don't ask me anybody's name in this goddamn room. I done forgot that fast whether you told me or not. That's just how my brain works. If I have something important, it stays in there. And if I got to memorize something else, I got to delete something else, right? But there's a story that I had I shot a documentary over the pandemic about my life. Someone was like, "We should do this one called," because I'm jumping around a lot, but people call me Omar Gooding Jr. out of sheer, "Oh, well, Cuba Gooding Jr., his brother Omar Gooding Jr. I'm like, "No, dumbass, that's not how juniors work."
Right.
But so I had this documentary called "My Name is Omar Gooding," right? So, and I interviewed a bunch of people in my life. I interviewed my mom. And I called my brother and I said, "I need you for interviews." He's like, "Nigga, I'm out here in Weston." I said, "I don't care. Just put yourself on camera. Give me the footage." He's like, "All right, bet." And my mom said, "You should ask your brother about the time he got kicked off the set of Ghost Dad." And I went, "She's getting old. I don't know what she's talking about." And I called my brother. I said, "Hey, man, I need you in this documentary." He said, "Done." He says, "I should tell him about how that time I got kicked off the set of Ghost Dad." I said, "That's a real thing?" And he said, "Yeah, you don't remember?" I was like, "Not at all." But apparently, he was talking to me between one of the takes and was just like, "Yeah, man, you're doing pretty good. Loosen up, da-da-da." And Sidney Poitier yells across the set, "Who is talking to my actor? Who is that? Get out off the set now!" And he was like, shit. And they made him go wait in the dressing room for the rest of the day. I completely forgot about that shit. But that was a real thing, man. And I don't know, that whole time was really dope because I didn't get trained as an actor. Like, my brother took acting lessons. He's a thespian. He can play any role. That's why he's done so many different roles. Fucking AM,
radio.
I would say AM radio, that's the movie I did. But
Snow
radio,
Dogs?
from radio
Crazy.
to Snow Dogs to Men of Honor, that range is nuts, bro. And you say what you want about all the other Boat Trip and all this shit.
I like Boat Trip.
What I'm saying is, it's something that that's just not in my bag, right? And not for lack of trying, about the Boat Trip, but the radio one, I tried to play a mentally challenged, and I made a damn fool of myself. You have to be trained to get in that headspace. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, he was crazy good in radio.
Bro, like me and my sister watch it, and we cracking up laughing like, oh my God, look at this thing with the teeth. And my mom's going like this. She can't look. Because that's what, your parents, your biggest fear is that the kid comes out with something, you know what I mean? So that's how real it was. But with me, with Ghost Dad not being trained, it was just like, that's good? Oh, wow. Now faint. Like, how the hell do you faint? Yeah. I don't know, faint. He's like, just roll your head and just hit the wall and just, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I had to take, classes or
How many times
methods.
do you have to faint? How
A
many
bunch of
did it
times.
take?
Yeah. On a production like that, it was like, and again. When I was a kid, you get so much stamina. I probably did 30 times. I didn't care. Just
Did you make the baseball game? Wasn't there a Ghost Dad versus Harlem Knights baseball
absolutely.
game?
Oh, what a great memory you put back in my brain. Yes. Versus Harlem Knights.
I thought it was I was like, how are all these dudes out here playing just softball out here? I was like,
I forgot
were you at that?
I have to call my sister and tell her to tell me the story. That's how my brain works. Like, I have people that are around me that'll tell me, like, don't you remember this story? And I'm like, no. He said, and then I said, what else did I do? I just want to know how did it end? I said, I was there. Yes, you were there. Nigga, you was the reason why we was there. But I remember that because I know I have the shirts. My mom has all the memorabilia of everything. So that's the baseball.
Yo, the baseball. How did that go down?
That's great.
You don't remember nothing from the game?
No. But as you say it, I made me go, oh yeah.
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, all those guys were there, right?
So cool. Yeah.
That's dope.
It was Ghost Dad versus Harlem. I thought it was the randomest matchup too. I was like, Ghost Dad versus Harlem Nice. What the fuck?
Who won?
I don't know.
No. You ever asked? We won. I remember I hit it so hard and it was running so fast. And they're like, no one's catching that. It's up. You don't have to run so fast from the bases. Oh, that's so funny.
Yo, that's dope.
Wow.
That's a crazy game.
How old were you when your brother did Jerry Maguire?
So Jerry Maguire was
95, 99, right?
95. Yeah, I had graduated high school, so I was doing Smart Guy, I believe. Or I was like coming off of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I was right at the end of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Going
It was
into
96.
Smart Guy. 96. It was 2 years after I graduated. That was right at the end of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. So I was like 20.
That was huge.
I was about 20. I remember that's another method, dude. He would walk. I remember he showed me, he's like, this is my walk for this new movie I got. And I was like, your walk? He's like, yeah, this is my Rod Tidwell walk and shit. And I was like, cool. I was like, so what? But then when you see it, because I remember he would tell me, he always thought that the catchphrase from that movie was going to be, everything. He's like, when he's dead, his feet are on the thing, he's like, It's like, that's what he thought. I was like, no, nigga, show me the money. That shit is iconic as hell.
Yeah.
But what a good time, man. I remember watching that movie at the premiere and going, it's pretty good. Like, I didn't really, I was like, it's good.
It didn't hit home.
It didn't hit home until I got home. Well, but you got to think about this. At a premiere, like if I was just a regular, no disrespect to people that had regular jobs, but that would maybe it would have just been great just to sit and watch. But I'm on the red carpet. I'm doing my own thing. I'm playing my shit. I'm just like, it's all Hollywood to me. And hey, say, hey, that's blah, blah, blah. We get a picture with them. I remember him saying, nigga, go sit in your seat. We about to start the thing. And I was like, and I remember watching it kind of going, yeah, it's pretty good. Everybody's clapping or whatever. But then when I got home and watched it again, like by myself, when he gets to the end and he's like, my ambassador, I'm over there watching it going, that's right. Get the money. It's such a feel-good performance that he so earned it. And then during the Oscars were hilarious because he only invited, he had his wife and he had our parents there. I didn't get a ticket to the Oscars. So I was at home doing a viewing party. I get a call by Access Hollywood. And they said, we want to send a camera crew to your house while you're watching the Oscars. And I'm like, why? They're like, well, we think your brother has a pretty good shot at winning. I was like, all right. But if he doesn't, you know what I mean? If he don't win, you better get the fuck out. Like, that's what I was thinking, and there was a movie, Primal Fear by Ed Norton, where Ed Norton plays like the schizophrenic kid that switches up. And you remember that fucking movie?
Absolutely.
That movie was phenomenal. That's who he was up against in the Golden Globes and in the Oscar. In the Golden Globes, Ed Norton won. And I was just like, usually you win a Golden Globe, you win that. So I didn't think my brother had a chance. I thought it was just great that he got nominated. You weren't giving out Oscars to black guys, black people back then like that. You know what I mean? So I never thought he was going to win. I just thought it was great that he was nominated. I'm throwing a party to celebrate that. And I think the first time if I ever would have fainted in real life was when they were listening. They were like, the winner is cute. All I heard was cute. That's all I remember hearing. And it was just like, you know what I mean? Which was awesome, man. So happy for him. That's why his speech is so pure. I didn't think he thought he was going to win. He didn't write nothing down. You didn't see him go, I would like to thank, hell no. He was like, oh, shit. I want to thank the Crips and Bloods. I want to thank them. You know what I mean? Oh, it's awesome.
Did he thank you for getting into the industry first?
No, hell no. You know, it's funny, too. I was like, you didn't mention me. Like, shut up. But, I'm the baby bro. You know what I mean? I'm damn near 50. I'm still the baby. He come in the room right now and be like, hey, it's my brother. What's up, man? We fought and stuff before, but it's always been like, I've always been taught, respect your elders. Like, I mean? It's a 10-year gap between us.
Do you ever talk shit or like he brought that thing around after he won it?
No, that's funny too. People always say this shit like, oh, the pressure's on now. I'm like, pressure? The next Oscar after that was who? I don't even remember. The next black African American Oscar was probably 10 years after that. Like, it wasn't just they weren't just giving out Oscars like that.
Right.
I checked it off the list. Like, oh, we got one. I felt like we as a people
wasn't Sidney Poitier the first?
Yeah.
And he kicked Cuba off the set.
You gotta watch
and then Cuba
you gotta watch my documentary how Cuba tells that story. And he's like, let me tell you about the next time I saw Sidney Poitier. That's dope. It totally came full circle, man. So man.
What's your favorite performance by your brother?
Fucking Men of Honor, bro.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because as an actor, right, when you watch other actors perform, there's certain things that are going on that you can, I don't say fake, but you act. You know what I mean? Like crying. I've seen some stuff behind the scenes where they blow stuff in their eyes and make them cry and all this type of shit. And you're just like, oh, really? I thought this was acting. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when he was walking in that damn suit, and every step he fucking took, and then he was crying in the suit, I'm just like, how heavy was that fucking suit? Like, you're acting for real, bro. Like, and they were like, nah, he was fucking drowning. Like, if you don't fucking make it up, you are going to die. Like, that performance, between that and a movie called Gladiator that not a lot of people saw. So after Boys, and this is me trying to get in the mind of my brother, who's just another human altogether. So I don't know what he's thinking. But in my opinion, after Boys in the Hood, he was like, I got to do some tough guy shit. Because of the swinging in the air and the crying on the girl. You know what I mean?
Was he practicing that in the house? That's why I wanted to.
Was he like punching me? When you beat my ass.
Did you ever see him like,
I was like, this
you ever saw him in the corner and you was like, what the fuck is he doing?
You find out his middle name and try to call him that. That's when you find out how you can fight. No, but he took boxing lessons for this movie called Gladiator. And he was the absolute shit. Not only was it a time where, when you're watching him fight, first of all, I knew he really could fight. He's taking real lessons. He learned how to box, the combinations, everything about it. And he had the dopest role in there. He had the tough guy. He was the one that, he was kind of like my baby boy role. You know what I mean? Right. He was that role in this movie. And I wish more people saw it. I think the lead, I can't remember the guy's name, me with names. But he was very, Twin Peaks, remember that show, Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
It was very popular for a while. The lead guy on that was the lead in this. He was real monotone. He was just one of those, he could be faced it and move. He
the blue velvet guy,
Yeah, that guy. He would just say stuff and doesn't your cheekbones hurt? What's wrong? Move your lips, eh? And it was popular at the time, but the movie didn't do too well. But he was awesome. So between that and Men of Honor, for sure.
So do you feel like you got he went movies more, you went TV more because you were
1,000%.
in TV and you've done over 200 episodes of TV?
I've always been a TV guy, and it's so funny, man. Him and I think a lot of A-list actors never really realized how well successful television shows really pay. I remember he would get offered series all the time and like, no, I'm doing movies, fuck off. And at one point in his career, he got offered something. He called me and said, yo, they pay that much in television?
I feel like
and then all of a sudden, everybody started to do it.
Switch at a certain point where you wouldn't catch an A-list actor on a TV show. It was like, their career's over.
Yeah, exactly.
They're on TV now. Fuck, it's over.
It's like, he's doing a reality show? It must be.
And now it don't matter. Now it's like they on on series. They're on
I got
fucking.
to work, bro.